Hi, my name is Heather, and today I kind of want to talk to you about being open. And this kind of comes from a discussion that I had today with one of my friends because we were talking about racism, and what came up was that microaggressions, from my point of view, are a form of racism. And they're something that we need to combat because if you throw a microaggression out there, there's obviously a deep-rooted feeling or belief within inside of you that comes from, a form of racism. And one of my friends, she says that, yeah, it's an issue, but there are bigger issues out there in the world that we need to focus on, which, yeah, there are other issues, but I don't know if they're necessarily bigger issues, because attitude is what drives people to make decisions, what drives people to, act in a certain way. And if we're able to, convince people to be more open and change their perspective on how they see others, on how they see the world, then we're able to systematically change a lot of things, because being open allows us to compromise. It allows us to see others' point of view. And I think one of the biggest issues is the unwillingness to be open and to safeguard our beliefs. As a society, we have been taught to kind of protect our traditions and beliefs and political ideals that have been ingrained in us. We were pledging to the flag since we were in kindergarten, and once we leave high school, we're kind of able to say, oh wow, it's kind of cultish. And there are a lot of people who really respect the American flag, and then there are a lot of people who don't, and that's okay. And I think that it's important to see that there's different sides and different opinions that people have, and if we're able to understand and recognize that different opinions exist, then we're able to challenge those opinions and have good discussions while also being able to maybe shift one's perspective on a certain issue or belief that they once had. I listened to this amazing podcast that I'll put in the link below, and in the bio below I'll put the link. And the podcast is from NPR's TED Radio Hour, and this woman talked about how she grew up in a church where they protested homosexuals and Planned Parenthood, and she went on Twitter to kind of, put her beliefs out there, and what she found was actually transformative, because she was able to see, different sides, from people who were engaging with her in a conversation instead of an argument, and she was able to listen without, getting angry, and it kind of transformed the way that she viewed how she grew up. And now she's on, a different side where she's like, oh my goodness, I need to fight for people who are homosexual, and I need to fight for women's rights. And it's so interesting how just that, openness in her allowed her to see a different side and allowed her to shift the way she viewed different topics. And imagine, if everybody was able to be open, just such a quick perspective, change, because perspective is everything. It is everything. And I'm reading this book called Chasing Chaos by Jessica Alexander, who is a humanitarian aid worker, and it's kind of changed my life because she, kind of convinced me to see humanitarian aid in such a different and unique way. She was working in Sri Lanka after the tsunami hit years ago, and she was evaluating the way different aid was set up. And what she found and noticed was that there was too much aid coming in there. And aid groups didn't know what to do with the money or the donations, and there was actually people being paid to just sort through donations. And another interesting, aspect was that people were sending jeans and sneakers, which, who knows if they're old, beaten up, or new, who knows. But the point is citizens in Sri Lanka don't wear jeans or sneakers. They wear headdresses and sandals. And if people were able to be open and research and understand, culturally what the people in Sri Lanka wore and needed, they'd be able to send the right help. But because people are so, eager to help, they forget that, or don't know, or, even I was ignorant before I read this book, that their, aid comes from, it's not easy to give. It takes work, and it comes from pure selflessness. Some people give out of, the aftermath feeling of feeling good about yourself because you had done something good. And people want to give what's easy, so it's easy to take the jeans that you don't wear anymore, the sneakers that you spilled fruit punch on. But it's hard to go out to the store to buy headdresses or send sandals over that are new because then you gotta do the research to know what to get. Then you gotta spend your own money, and a lot of people are willing to do that. Some people don't even know that that's what they should be doing, and that's why being open is such an important thing that we as humans should encompass in our daily lives, because we'd be able to change our minds about so many different things, or bring in new ideas and concepts into our lives. And I think it's so important, to recognize this beautiful ability that we have to converse with others, and to listen to others. It's a gift that we have to have open communication. And I really hope that you find something valuable in this video and these words that I shared with you. It really means a lot that you were able to listen to me. And if you have any comments or, things you'd like to add, I'd love to hear them. Give this a thumbs up. And enjoy the rest of your day or night or whatever, wherever you are.